Open Television Network was started by several people, including Philip Hodgetts, who's well known in the Final Cut Pro community. And they've done a very low-key introduction. This is kind of, right now it's sort of like a word-of-mouth kind of thing. But it's trying to solve this problem, right? All these services, and of course iTunes being the 10,000
pound elephant,
pound gorilla, they don't really want to make it. They don't make it easy for the little guy to get monetized. But they do support RSS feeds of like video blogs or subscription material. So what ClickTab technology does, it allows you to provide content to your viewers through an RSS feed through iTunes, but it allows you to put up previews, and then if they click to download on subsequent items, you can have free items and then you could have paid items. So when they click to download a special coded RSS feed, it actually charges their account. So it's a way of charging for content that you make available as a free RSS feed subscription. But particular items they can click when they say the click to download on iTunes. So basically what they wanted to do this end run around Apple not allowing the little guy to monetize. And several people who do like a lot of how-to videos have started using ClickTab technology as a way of charging 25 cents or 50 cents or $1 per episode, because there is a great opportunity in that marketplace that people are willing to pay for content. And they've gotten off to a slow start, but they've got several clients. The tricky part, just like PayPal had this exact same problem when they started, you have to give your credit card number to ClickTab so that they can charge you incrementally for content. But they start off giving you, I think, $5 or $10, free content to start if you start up an account. And as of August, they're still moving forward and they're trying to get ClickTab. I think it's OpenTelevisionNetwork.com.
So how do people, excuse me, how do people know about your feed if they have to pay for it?
You put the ClickTab link on your website.
But I mean, if
presumably you show up in iTunes like through searches, right? If someone searched on like how to and like karate or something, you show up.
Right.
But you wouldn't be able to subscribe through iTunes. So
you can subscribe to the feed, but then you'll only get the free material. And if you want the paid material, if you click to download that, it's you have to have an account for it to actually give that to you.
I see.
Yeah, it's explained with a really good demo movie on the Open Television Network.
I mean, the thing that is unfortunate is like so many people that wanted to help monetize, help independent, individual filmmakers monetize stuff. Brightcove was talking about doing that for a while, and they never quite got there. And Google talked about doing it and never quite did it with Google Video. And iTunes is still so slow. Like there are a couple companies that they seem to want to work with, like New Video and Docurama. I think they work with, and
yeah, only 2 aggregators they work with.
Yeah, I think the other one might be Media Style, which Sundance was having some issues with, hearing from their filmmakers that payment wasn't actually happening, and so I'm not sure what's up with that other one.
Now, as the distributor, we found, it's interesting in working with the iTunes thing and trying to get a wedge in there. Mm-hmm. And that's why we found the iTunes U fit a lot of, served a number of purposes for us. And iTunes made it also, invited us with our 900 titles to start offering them through the iTunes store broadcast. But when we looked at the cost factor and the money side, it just wouldn't work for us. The upfront costs are astronomical.
You mean to digitize all of the content for iTunes?
Yeah, I mean they would charge us New Video, or you have to go through an aggregator no matter who you are, over $500 a title just to get it up, have them do their work with it. Mm-hmm. And then the percentages that they're offering you on downloads, on sales, not half as good as we were getting with Google, and not as good as we're getting with Amazon. Mm-hmm. So we do have.
And when you say Google, you mean you used to participate in that sort of Google Video Store that doesn't exist anymore?
Yeah, we were one of the first content providers over 2 years ago when Google was in its beta test for download to own. And we had, at the end of that experiment, we had over 500 full-length titles, anywhere from 10 minutes to 90 minutes that we were selling. And our revenues were going up just incrementally every month. And in the last month of that experiment, before they killed it, our revenues from downloads went up 300% between March and April. That would have been a year and a half ago.
And so did those titles migrate somewhere else after Google shut down, or did those titles
No, we just took
aren't
them
really...
all off. We just took them all off. And then and since that time, we were looking for ways to duplicate that Google experience. I mean, there were some, we found Google very good to work with. The downside for us is we have a very big international market, and we couldn't, it wasn't accessible to our international customers. But that would solve a tremendous amount of problems for us if we could find a download system for full-length documentary film that was available internationally. But nobody's doing that.
Have any of the download to pay services gone international, like Kashi or your service?
We're international.
Okay.
You are.
In how many different countries?
We're selling in just about every country, but ones that we're, I don't think we sell in North Korea. We don't sell in some countries that have very high incidence of credit card fraud, just about everywhere else in the world, so almost everywhere.
We'd be interested in talking to you. Very interested.
I mean, I guess iTunes does have stores in a handful of other countries other than America, right? Mostly Europe?
We get probably about 35% of our sales outside the U.S. But the biggest countries, of course, are the English-speaking countries because of the content that we have.
Do you allow your content providers to brand their content within the context of your site, or how does that work?
Yes, if a content provider signs up with us, they get their own section of our site, so they can link to all their titles on our site. And then we're also adding the capability to break it down by labels. So if there's sub-labels that somebody might, a distributor might have, then even those sub-labels will have their own section.
Yeah, because we've got a nice thing with Create Space on Amazon now that we're about ready to get our first check, so I'll know if it's been cost effective or not.
We'll also be doing some other interesting things that I can't really talk about right now with being able to branch out to enabling rights holders to make sales from their own site as well, using our technology.
Cool. Could you talk
Sure.
about how an independent producer might approach you, or did they do that? How does that work? Who approaches you to provide the content?
We do get approached all the time, and I'm sort of ashamed to say that we turn away a lot of independent producers. And it's simply a mathematics thing right now, because in most cases, the independent producer would come to us, and if I get a red line distribution agreement for one title and then it goes online, the minute I have to look at a red line, I've lost money on it. Usually, not all the time. There are some notable exceptions to it. So it's really hard for an independent producer unless we see a built-in market for the type of content that they're coming to us with. One exception we made was for a company called Cinematic Titanic, which was started by a guy named Joel Hodgson, played Joel Robinson on Mystery Science Theater 3000, and brought all those Mystery Science Theater people together again to create a new company. They took a very, I guess for lack of a better term, a holistic approach to distributing their content, and included theatrical, DVD distribution, as well as online distribution was a big part of it. And we've had just massive amount of sales of their stuff. And a lot of the reason for that is that they're exclusively on our site for download. And then on top of that, they had that built-in market of fans that they also asked, the fans asked themselves, well, could I just order the DVD or should I download it from Easy Tapes? The fans are so so crazy about the content that they didn't want to wait an extra week to get the DVD, so there's a very high percentage of downloads of that content. But I think I heard a few people say that before, that there's a lot of different revenue streams, and I would definitely recommend that you have to, and a lot of times they actually feed off one another too. If you give away content for free online, you'll probably increase your DVD sales. And a lot of times it's very hard for somebody that maybe sold a kidney to make a film to sort of let go of that and take those chances.